and the adding images to your Villain website, we are going to follow along with the video to set up the Villain website. What we'll cover is copyright and adding images to your web pages. When you are done with the assignment, you are going to mark it as done, and then you will move on to the next lesson/assignment. Again, I have linked the code.org tool documentation so that if you need to see HTML tags and what you can do with them, the link is in the assignment. Okay, so the new code that we are going to learn is the image tag. It is IMG for the tag. Right here is, I'm showing you what the tag looks like, and we need to go over a couple of things. So right here, this is your tag. The IMG, that's your tag. Notice that there's no closing tag, and the reason for that is because we're not wrapping this tag around text. We only need closing tags for text. So the IMG tag is one of the few tags that does not have a closing tag. The next thing that you have to have in your image is your source. SRC stands for source. This right here is an attribute to the image tag. The source tells you, one, the file name, but that file name is also a location on your server. So not only is it the file name, but it's the location on the server. The next thing that you absolutely must include in your image tag is the ALT. ALT stands for alternate. And what that is it's a description of the image. And the reason you must have this tag is because we are making websites accessible. So this means that if somebody is using a screen reader to view the website, the screen reader will pick up the alt tag and say, this is an image of whatever the description is. You can add more attributes. These two must be included in every single image, but you can also add an attribute that's width, height, border, and there are a few more. Those are the width, height, and border are the most common ones.
Okay, now if a browser fails to load an image, this is the image that you get. So that's how you can tell if your image is working or not. Okay, so now we need to open our project. To do that, if you scroll to the bottom, you should have a Villain website current project that you're working on. I'm going to click on that, and we have come in, and it always brings you to your index page. How do we get images? You may have done some drawings at the beginning of this semester when I had you working on the Villain website, and you might want to use those drawings in your website. If so, you're going to take a picture and upload it to your computer. Not to your Google, you can upload it to your Google Drive and then download it to your computer. Another way that you can get pictures, and again, we need to talk about copyright. You need to have the copyright to use them. So more than likely, you can't just do a Google search. Actually, I'm going to go to my Chrome tab and show you how you can do a Google search for images that you can use. So I'm going to type in Villain images. And all of the villains out there, you really can't use them. What you're going to do is you're going to click on Images and then Tools and then Usage Rights. And you're going to click on Creative Commons Licenses. These are all images under the Creative Commons that you're allowed to use. Another place that you can go to get images is Pexels. I'm going to type in Pexels, P-E-X-E-L-S, and then I'm going to come back to all. Pexels is free stock photos that you can use. So here in the search, I'm going to type in Villain. I like this image, so I am going to download it. And I have to give credit to set a link back to the photo. You can use the following text. Photo, you can just copy that. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my project. I'm actually going to create another page. It's named new. I'm going to right click on it and click on rename. And I'm going to name this copyright, because this is where all the copyright for my images are going to live. I can hit enter. I'm up in the head section. I'm going to do a title. I'm going to call this image copyright or just copyright. This is one way of doing copyright information. Now I'm going to close my title tag. You could also put the copyright information under each picture, and I'll show you how to do that. In the body section, I am going to do a heading 1, and I'm going to call this copyright. Can't type right now. And then I'm going to close my heading tag. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paste what I just copied. I suggest that you keep your pages open where you're downloading your images from until you have all of your copyright information on the web page. And one of the reasons why I am creating a copyright page is because it's just easier to keep track of all that stuff. Okay, so this, I downloaded it. It's going to be in my download folder. So I'm going to go back to code.org. Over here, I'm now going to click on add an image. I'm going to click on upload. I'm going to go to my download folder, and I know this looks a little bit different on a Chromebook, but you want to go to your downloads or your folders or wherever Chromebooks store their images. I'm going to click on my image. It's uploading it. Tells me it was successfully loaded, and I'm going to close this. Now, this name is not a good name. I'm going to right click on it and rename it, and I'm going to call this my villain. I'm just going to say face. Well, it's actually a body. So if you have a name for your villain, you could put the villain name. And then I'm going to hit enter. So, okay, so there it is. Okay, now I'm going to go to my copyright page, and I'm going to show you how to add a photo. Okay, so going back to our image, this is our code, OpenIMG. So in code.org, I am going to do the open tag, and I am going to go IMG, and there it is. I'm going to do a space. Actually, I'm going to hit an enter so that goes down. Nope. Sorry, I did that wrong. Just delete that. Delete it back. I'm going to do a space. I want the source. I'm going to type in S. There it is. I can also use my down arrows and then hit enter, and then it puts in what it wants to. Now notice as soon as I hit enter, it put in the source and then the 2 quotes, and then it popped this up with something to do. I named my villain, the villain name JPEG. Yours would actually have a name. Okay, so now I'm going to do a space again, and then I'm going to go to the Alt tag. And I used my down arrow on the pop-up window to go to Alt. I'm going to hit enter. And then whatever your villain's name is what you put here, or a description of your villain. Then after the quotation mark, I am going to put an ending caret. And I put a space for some reason, so I have to delete that. Then I'm going to hit enter. Now, this is huge. I don't want it to be this big. So after that last quote mark, but before the greater than sign, I'm going to put a space. And I'm going to start typing in with. There it is. I'm going to hit enter. I am going to put, this is just on my copyright page. This can be small because it's just going to show what it looks like. I'm going to put 200 px. PX stands for pixels. And then it automatically resizes the height. On this photo, I am going to put a paragraph tag around it, so it falls on its own line. Okay, now I'm going to go to my index page, and I'm actually going to put this photo in, and I want mine to go before the first paragraph header, but after this villain website, but before this paragraph header. So after my H1, I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to go back to my copyright page. I'm going to copy this line. And then I'm going to go to my index page. Now, if you want your image on a different page, you can go to whatever page you want to put it on. I'm going to paste that line. Now, I wanted it small for my copyright page, but I want it bigger on my home page. I'm going to try 600 pixels. I think that looks good. Okay, so now I have a photo here. I said that I would show you how you put your copyright underneath your photo. So going back to my copyright page, I'm going to select this and copy this line. I'm not going to copy the paragraph tag. So mine's on my index page. Go back to where you put your photo. Okay, I'm going to go to my image. I'm going to go to the end of that tag, and then I'm going to hit enter. So I put that on its own line, and I'm going to paste it. Then I'm going to do a caption tag. And I'm going to okay, so the next tag I'm going to show you is I want this to drop down one line. I don't want it to be right after it. So what I'm going to do is right here at the end of the image tag, I'm going to do an opening caret. I'm going to do a B and then this R. So go down to the last one. Oh, I went down too far. I'm going to hit enter and then close it. That will drop your text down one line, so it's like right underneath it. Now, I know that we did this caption, and right now it's not doing anything for this, but that will come later. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to go and add pictures to your web page. When you're done adding all your pictures, you're going to mark this lesson as done in Google Classroom. Then move on to the next lesson.